labor and delivery story time. So it all started on Tuesday morning. I started getting contractions at 4 in the morning. So since you guys know, my husband is paralyzed.
Hello.
Wait, make that less awkward.
Hi, I'm her husband.
He has to do a morning bell program. He jumped out of bed and he was like, well, I want to be ready, so I'm gonna go do my program. They got ready because we didn't know how fast it was gonna progress or not. But then after a couple of hours, they went away. We ended up going out to dinner. We went to Olive Garden. They started kind of picking up again. Last time that we ate was 5:30 p.m. Tuesday. That's important for the story. We got home, we showered, laid down in bed, turned on a movie. By the time the movie was over, I was having stronger contractions, but I was like, I don't know if they're strong enough to go to the hospital. So I was holding off. Evan was like, just lay down, see if you can sleep. I tried laying down for like 10 minutes and I was like, nah, babe, we gotta go. We ended up getting to the hospital at midnight, which would now be Wednesday morning. When we got there, I was already 3 centimeters dilated. They told me to walk the hallways for an hour and then they would measure me again. After that hour of walking the hallways, that shit was painful.
Amber the whole time, oh. Oh.
You don't understand. So after walking around for an hour, they measured me again and she was like, oh, you're at a 4, almost 5 centimeters. They took us to labor and delivery. And once again, my husband is paralyzed, so he has to do his morning program. Since it was 4 in the morning, I had progressed a centimeter, almost 2 centimeters within that hour. We were like, we don't know how fast this is gonna go. Babe, you need to get in the restroom and like do your program now. Went in the restroom, did his program. I was pacing. I was just doing circles in the room the whole time, like walking through the contractions. By the time he was finished, it was about 6:30 a.m. Wednesday. And by that point, I had already been roughing out my contractions for those 6, almost 7 hours. So I got the epidural. I didn't want to get it too soon because I didn't want to be tied down to the bed for super long, but I was already at a 5. So I was like, well, I'm halfway there. Like, it's not going to be that much longer. Long story short, I met the night nurses when we first got there, the day shift nurse, the night shift nurse. If I would have gone a couple more hours, I would have met the other day shift nurse. So with that being said, I was laboring for 26 hours. 26 hours, and then I pushed for another 2 in labor pretty much from 4 a.m. Tuesday to give birth 3 a.m. on Thursday. So keep in mind, the last time that I had ate food was 5:30 p.m. Tuesday. So I didn't eat for 37 hours, and at that time too, we had already been up for 24 hours by the time we got to the hospital. I was only running on like a couple hours of sleep. So by the time it came to pushing our son out, I was mentally and physically exhausted because I was running on no sleep and I had not ate anything for 37 hours. I can definitely say that it was it was definitely the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life so far. I did end up getting a 1st-degree tear. I did have to get sutures, so it was a whole process, but we're healing up well and things are going good. But yeah, that's a little story time on my labor and delivery of 26 hours. So with that said, if you've had a baby, let me know what your labor and delivery process was like, because mine was very long and tiring. Alright, love you guys, bye. I recently gave birth and I wanted to go over what the hospital gives versus what I brought and what I was thankful that I brought. When people say that the hospital gives everything, for me that was true. I'm not sure that will be true for every hospital, but I wanted to do kind of comparisons of like things they had versus things that I brought. First up is these knit pants. They're gonna give you a bunch of these. This is actually what they have you put on when you get up and use the restroom for the first time. And then they also put this huge pad in there. This thing is literally ginormous, but honestly it wasn't bad. This is what they recommend. I know sometimes they like keep track of how much blood you're losing with these pads, so they kind of want you to use them. Personally, I really haven't had that much bleeding, so I'm very thankful for that. Really quick, I wanted to compare these because these are the ones that they gave me, and then I had brought 1 pair of the Freedom Mom boy shorts. I personally have not even tried any of these yet. Another comparison is the ice pads. This is what the hospital gave me. I had brought some of the Freedom Mom ones. They're literally the exact same thing, guys. I tried both of these while I was in the hospital. The ice part of it was nice to have, but these are so uncomfortable because it's literally like sitting on a balloon. Both of them were the same. One's not better than the other. Another thing that the hospital will give you a bunch of is these pads. These ones I think are even longer. If you're bleeding a ton, I would just use their stuff. One thing I personally am super grateful I brought was the Always Depends adult diapers. I've been wearing these every day. It's just a lot easier because you just throw this on, and then if you want to put something in there, you can. If not, you can just wear these. You don't have to worry about putting a pad in there or anything like that. Something everyone was telling me was to get Tux pads. I have been using these, not every time, but I have been using them. the hospital will have them. At least my hospital had them. You can ask for a bunch. So they gave me all of these containers. It's gonna be the exact same thing, so honestly you don't even need to bring any, and you probably don't even need to buy any over the counter. I haven't tried this, but they also gave me like a lidocaine spray. One thing I highly recommend bringing is the Freedom Mom Perry bottle. You have bottles, but their bottles are just straight up and down. Very hard to use. So this one's great because it has the angle. Definitely bring one of these. Honestly, I didn't use like half the stuff that I brought to the hospital with me, including my shampoo and conditioner. I did not shower. The days were just very long and I was honestly just waiting to shower when I got home. But yeah, the hospital will give you basically everything that you need other than the adult diapers, this bottle, and I think that's it. But yeah, I was thankful that I did bring these. Yeah, oh, it's okay. All right, love you guys. Bye.